Yo, well, I'm just now leaving the farmer's market. We were up in there for like an hour and a half. That's how we get down in there. You know, we have a good rapport with we have a good relationship with the farmers and the ranchers. We talk about things and, it's like family. You go in there, it's like family, real talk.
That's what mommy said.
Really? Mommy said that? Wow.
Mommy said that the farmers market people are kind of like our family.
Yeah, they are. They all know us. They give us discounts. They give us free food. Yeah, we're all kind of like family. That's true. We are all kind of like family. So, as a matter of fact, I was speaking to one of my family in the farmers market, a woman that we get our kale and our lemons and things like that from. Um, Myers lemons. I have a lemon tree in the back, but we don't have Meyer lemons. And Meyer lemons are less acidic. Anyway, so I'm speaking to one of the family in the farmers market, and there's a lot of people in the farmers market at any given time, and so it gets kind of crowded, and you really have to keep an eye on your kids nowadays. And while I was at her particular booth with this woman I was talking to, my kids were wandering over to the next vendor, the next farmer, to get some Valencia oranges and get samples. They get all the samples they want, And so basically they're eating all the fruits for the day. Hey, how you doing? Much love to you too. So we're there. I'm there at the booth getting the kale and the Meyer lemons and the eggs. They have delicious eggs. These eggs are delicious. So anyway, I'm like looking at, what's up, Hassan? How you doing? Peace, peace, peace to you. Peace to you. Just coming from the farmer's market. And we're talking, and I'm mentioning my kids are wandering over to the next vendor or the next farmer to get orange samples of oranges and stuff. And I'm like looking real tough. I'm like, man. And I told my daughter, I said, come back here. Do not leave my sight. Okay. And then the young woman looked at me. She's like, yeah, you got to keep an eye on the kids. I was like, yeah, because it used to be when I was 8 years old, we didn't really have that worry. When I was 8, back in '88, I was able to ride through the neighborhood by myself on my bike. I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere, any neighbor's house. I can hang out. And nowadays you can't do that, because if you take the eyes off your kids for one hot second, they will come up missing, depending on where you at. And even though all the farmers and the ranchers are like family to us, the customers that are there at the market, you don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. And some of them, but for the most part, you don't know who these people are. And it's such a big crowd, and it's easy to lose your kids. Hey, it was good. What's up, Derek? So it's all good, man. It's all good. I knew you would show up. It's all good. So I'm talking, and then she, what she said? Now, she is right wing, okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, this woman she's right wing, and we have a lot of the same views. And then she was like, that's why they don't like Trump. When we're talking about kids being kidnapped so easily nowadays. She said, that's why they don't like Trump, because so many of those creeps are being arrested under Trump. I was like, that is very true. I said, there have been a lot of the elite being arrested for sex trafficking and things like that, kidnapping and, Pizzagate and all that stuff since Trump came into office. And I said, yeah, that's true. That's one of the reasons they don't like him. And then we're talking, and she's talking about a website that you can go check out that chronicles a lot of the things that are going on. It's called QMap. It's in my phone. It's QMap. Something. I'll put it in the description later. But yeah, and I was telling her about me wanting to join the Veterans for Child Rescue and how my wife is kind of nervous about me doing that because I want to be one of the vets actually out there rescuing the kids out there in the shit. And she's like, you got the kids of your own, man. And I was like, but I know I want to do some good. I mean, the world's children are my children too. That's how I got to look at it. But anyway, I was telling her about a story. And then when I was telling her about it, I was like, I need to tell you guys because you guys need to be on the lookout. I know a lot of you have kids, young kids. And so one day, my wife takes the kids to Target, and she has all 4 kids with her. We got 5 kids now, but she had the 4 kids, and she was pregnant. She was newly pregnant, but she was pregnant. And she goes to the Target, and there's this woman standing outside the Target, right? And this woman is asking her for food, okay? She's asking her for food. And my wife was like, sure, I'll go get you some food. Oh, yeah. He trying to, I see you, Derek. He trying to come up in my live, in my comments, and try to be nice and shit. I see right through it. Oh, pardon the language, kids. Yeah. He ain't fooling me. But anyway, so my wife sees this woman, and the woman asks her for some food, okay? Out of Target. And my wife was like, yeah, I'll go get you some food. I'll bring it back to you. And the woman says, oh, can I go with you so I can help you, help you out? I know you got a lot of kids, and I want to help you, and I want to show you what I want and all this other stuff. And my wife is sharp. My wife is sharp, okay? She's already paranoid. She's been through some stuff in her young age that a lot of the trauma, like people like Hassan Campbell had gone through with her mother's punk ass boyfriend, and all that shit came out. It was crazy. Anyway, so she's already paranoid, and she's already got her eyes. She's like a hawk when it comes to her kids out in public by herself. And my wife was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go up in there and I'm gonna get you some food. I'll bring it out to you. And this woman is like begging, and she's like, no, I'll get you the food and I'll bring it back to you. And so she goes in there and gets the food for this woman. A lot of food too. Milk, just all kind of crap. Milk, eggs, bread, things that you would think would someone who's hungry would really get use out of. And she comes out, and the woman is gone, okay? The woman is gone. She's no longer in front of the Target, okay? Now, my wife came across an article that explained how these sex traffickers go about kidnapping children. And one of the ways is to do that, okay? Have a woman standing out in front of a grocery store, and she asked to go into the store with you so that she can distract you, okay? Yeah, she was going. So the woman will distract you, okay? And while you're distracted, somebody comes snatch your kids up, all right? And I did one of the very first lives I did in regards to gun control, I was talking about, in California, we can't carry, okay? We can't carry a concealed weapon. What if my wife came out and it was dark, and the people that were with this woman decided that they were going to take my children by force, okay? What could my wife have done with 4 kids and no ways to defend herself but with a karambit knife? That's all she had, a karambit knife. What would she do? What could she do with like 2 or 3 grown ass men if she didn't have the heat? You see what I'm saying? So that's one way gun control is bullshit. Sorry kids, they don't listen to me. Anyway, so yeah, they could have easily taken my kids from my wife because she had no way to defend herself. Okay, and this is the type of thing I'm talking about. But I wanted to tell you guys about this story because, I mean, we can't prove that that was the intention. But it's very strange that she came out and this woman is gone. And that's one of the ways that you cannot keep your eyes off your kids, man. You can't. Thankfully, I have people at the farmers market that we know that help. That they'll keep an eye on the kids. I mean, because I had a scare one time with my son at the farmers market, and one of the farmers found him and brought him to me. Like, here you go. Here's your son. And that's how it worked. You know, that's when you have a village like that. It takes a village. When you have a village, beautiful things can happen. Oh yeah, it was a setup for sure. So, and there's a lot of ways, man. There's a lot of ways that they get these kids, man. And with all the technology and all the cameras ripping and running around the streets, you know, and it's an interesting thing with the cameras and the technology. Okay, Hassan had brought this up one time about how if you fart in a woman's face on the street, you can get arrested for assault, and they can prove it because you're on camera. But kids are getting snatched up off the street all the time, and there's no camera footage of it. None. There's no camera footage. And you know, that's some scary stuff, man. So I was like, man, when I heard that story from my wife, I was like, dude, this is crazy, because that shit, there were kidnappings when I was a kid, but they were nothing like what this going on nowadays, man. It's wild. It's wild. But so on to another thing. I was looking at a story yesterday. I mean, this is very sad. You know, I just want you guys to be prepared. This is very heartbreaking. Okay. There was this brother who had a wife. You may have heard about this story. He was married to a woman, and she was a beautiful woman. She knew 5 languages. She ran marathons. She was just a beautiful woman, and they had a child together. And then years later, they got pregnant with another child. But for some reason, you know, some people do this. They scheduled a C-section so that the baby can be born on a certain day. And I strongly advise against C-sections, unnecessary C-sections. Okay, but people do that now. They want the baby to be born on their birthday, so they schedule a C-section. It's just, to me, that's crazy. Anyway, this brother takes his wife to the hospital for the scheduled C-section, and you know, they do the C-section, and then like she's in the recovery room, and she's just laying there and all that, and he notices that the catheter is filling up with blood. Okay, it's filling up with blood, and this guy, it's a Cedar-Sinai Hospital in California. That's one of the top hospitals in the country. It's like supposed to be an elite hospital with all the best care, right? It's actually where my stepdad got some liver treatment for hepatitis, and they cured it. But anyway, he notices that blood is going into the catheter. Hey, my bad, y'all. So the catheter is filling up with blood, and he tells the staff, and the staff are like, oh, okay, we'll get to it. All right. The catheter is filling up with blood. I'm not a doctor, and I know that's not good. Okay. So he keeps telling them. 3 hours go by, 4 hours go by, 5 hours go by. No one does nothing. At the 6th hour, they tell him that she's just not a priority, and she's shivering, she's shaking other shit. My bad with the language, kids. And they do nothing, man. She's not a priority, even though all these things are happening to her. She's going into shock, basically. And then finally, at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, like 10 or 12 or 13 hours later, they finally decide to take her to the operating room. And she had internal bleeding. Her stomach filled up with blood. and then she died. Okay? Now, this happened one of the foremost hospitals in the country, Cedars-Sinai. These doctors, these nurses, they put her on the back burner, even though there were clear signs that she was basically bleeding internally. When your catheter is filling up with blood, you're bleeding internally. But they did nothing. No, don't worry about it, baby. So, this is what happened to this poor woman. And now he has 2 children. He has an 18-month, he was talking about how do you tell your 18-month-old child that he'll never see his mother ever again in his life. And it makes me think about that time when my latest baby was born, and I told that woman, do not clamp that cord and cut that cord. And you have the right to refuse treatment. And that was a treatment that I wanted to refuse. He flat out ignored me and clamped that cord after 1 minute. I said, do not clamp that cord until that placenta stops pumping the blood into my baby. You know your loved ones more than the doctors do. Okay? You know. This man knew that something was wrong with his wife. And because he brought it to their attention, they told him to screw off. Because they're doctors. And they know everything. And it never failed. Every had a baby. This baby, they said, oh, okay, yeah, well, whatever. And then the baby's crowning before they even get into the freaking room. These doctors don't know jack, man. They know nothing. You know what they do? They go to freaking they go to medical school to learn how to be brainwashed to medicate people. All right? They know they can fix a bone, right? They can set a bone, all right? That's all. I mean, what? You know, they can replace a knee, but when it comes to complete health, they don't know nothing. They know that the placenta holds 1/3 of that baby's blood, so that the baby can pass through the birth canal without hemorrhaging. They know that. And they know that the blood has to get back into the baby. But they don't think it matters. They want to put vitamin K in your child, okay? They want to put vitamin K in your child so that the blood can be coagulated. That means that the precious blood is not getting to the right places. If your blood is coagulating inside your body, they are deliberately poisoning and killing your children and my children. And they failed this woman. Okay? They failed this man. They murdered her. They cut her open. They cut her open and left her to bleed to death. That's what they did. She bled to death from the inside. This is what the doctors do. These allopathic, petrochemical pill-pushing pimps in the white coats. That's what they do. That's their job. And then they take the body parts and sell them on them. They sell them. They sell your people's body parts. You know, my wife renewed her driver's license, right? My wife renewed her driver's license. She never declared that she wanted to be an organ donor. But when her new license came, they had her down as an organ donor. even though she never told him that she wanted to donate organs. How'd that happen? I'm telling y'all, if you're organ donors, don't do it. If you want to donate organs, put it in a will somewhere where no one is going to know that you're an organ donor. Okay? Don't do it. Wow, I must have been speaking too much truth. Don't donate organs. Do not put that down there on your driver's license. The world does not need to know that you're willing to donate organs if that's what you're willing to do. All right. So I didn't want to bring anything negative to y'all on the weekend, but I wanted to tell this story because bringing about this type of awareness is more important than worrying about, talking too negative. I mean, because there's never a wrong time. And just be careful with these doctors in these hospitals, man. They don't know nothing. They know nothing. They don't know how to heal. They don't know how to prevent disease. They know how to do is give medication, set bones, okay, and kill people. Research how many people die from malpractice and whatnot every year, or from medication. And why is it that you can't sue a doctor or a hospital for vaccine injuries? Why is there a vaccine injury fund if vaccines are so safe? Why not? Why can't we sue the doctors? Because the injuries would happen so much that you would bankrupt every hospital and doctor in the fucking world. Okay, Derek. Okay, for sure. I will check that out, man. I will check that out. Yeah, so pretty much just, I tried. I don't even take my kids to yearly checkups. We are so leery of doctors. But when we do, we had a homeopathic doctor. She was great. But she died. That's right. Yep. She died around the same time those other 8 homeopathic doctors died mysteriously. She was one of those that died. She had some health complications. But these doctors, man, these homeopathic doctors are dying mysteriously all over the place. That guy from the CDC who said that, and he said that vaccines cause sickness. That's what he said, the flu vaccine flu. But he only wanted that information to be released if something happened to him. So he knew he was questioning. Yeah. Wow, 2013. He knew that the inquiries he was making about these vaccines erupts would probably get him in trouble. So he came up missing. Yep. He came up missing, and they searched a certain area several times, okay? And then all of a sudden, I think some fishermen found him by a river, just floating there in a shallow part of a river, and he had been badly decomposed. Okay? And they had searched that same area a bunch of times. So we have to be aware that we just have to say no. We cannot pass legislation that would mandate, even if they bring it to us to vote on. Because sometimes they might just take it straight to the Senate and Congress. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes these legislators will bypass us and they won't have a public hearing. They'll sneak that shit under. And there always has to be a public hearing. There a public response. They always have to have time before they pass this legislation for public comment. But sometimes sometimes they implement these emergency injunction thingies with the judges, and the judges pass it, and they sneak this legislation in, man. You see how your vote counts? You see how your vote counts? See how what these legislators do when you vote them into office, and they want to pass legislation that they know you ain't gonna be down with. Okay. They take this crap to judges, do emergency crap. I forgot what it's called, emergency injunction, emergency something, right? So that you don't have to wait for the public comment period. And then they get it passed. Many laws have been implemented that way. Many laws are being passed this very minute that we don't know about. So look, we have to be more diligent. We have to do our due diligence. We have to get on people's heads. We got to bring them evidence of all the things that are going on. I know most people are dumb right now. Like, it's something that's going through society where they can't discern. Like, they're stuck in virtual reality. Okay, they're virtual reality where, you know, you're playing Fortnite until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know that's what most of my friends do, right? These cats that I'm supposed to be doing this podcast with. I was supposed to do a podcast with these cats. Yeah, Big Pharma. Yeah, they own exactly about the NRA owning politicians, right? Big Pharma owns a lot of politicians. Okay, it's called, they're interest groups. That's what happens. You know, they hire lobbyists to go in there and basically politicians. That's basically what special interest groups do. But I was supposed to do this podcast. I'm just speaking to the deliberate ignorance. Okay. Anyway, man, they really trying to knock it down, huh? But we were supposed to meet up every Sunday and talk about, and then all of a sudden, because they have so many kids, we should do it remotely and play video games on Twitch. I'm like, dude, I'm not playing video games until 2 or 3 o'clock, and they wanted to meet up at 11 o'clock at night to do this, play video games. I said, dude, I don't want to. That's nuts. I'm not still here playing video games. So they want to play Fortnite. It was a disaster. I said, okay, let's try it out. And you're talking about me my age. You're talking about my brother who's 39 years old, and my homeboy who's 38 like me. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. You know, the cognitive dissonance is just is over. It's just real. It's real. This cognitive dissonance, and you know, we're just dumbed down. Like, and now they're bringing in all this 5G weaponry. All, you know, once this 5G come in, listen, if your people are already hooked on devices and electronics and technology, 5G come in, will ensue. All right. So, if you can, people up, man, retarded shit like my friends, you know what I'm saying? Hey, get them off it as best you can. You know, I mean, I don't even know what to do with my friends. Yeah, I mean, listen. Share this video, but please share this video. Okay. To your friends. If you got kids, please let them know what's up. Please let them know your kids, you have to keep them safe. they're not as safe as they once were. Man, my bad. Listen, I'm gonna hurry up and get off this line because it's really getting bad. So, share the video and listen. Gun control legislation, we don't need it. Okay? We need to fight that too. All right? Because when that goes, the more they're going to chip away at it a little bit at a time. What we have to do is stop it in its tracks right now so they can't take it any further. Now, it's too late in California. All right? So I'm getting out of here, out of California. Go somewhere where your Second Amendment rights are protected, where your First Amendment rights are protected. Okay? I know it's going to be hard, but we got to do this. We got to push. Back at the house, I had to reset my phone, man, because it was getting out of control. But anyway, hit that like button, right? Share this video. Subscribe. Get my book. Okay? Check it out. The link will be in the description. And I think I'm gonna put I'm gonna put a little bit more information in that in the description. But yeah. So I don't know, I might get it y'all tomorrow on the way to the child training. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'll have something to talk about. There's always something to talk about. There's always something to bring awareness on. So there's always some new stuff going on. So be ready to check me out tomorrow, okay? All right. Thank you for viewing. Like, share, subscribe, all that, okay? And keep your family safe and feed your family right. And stop trusting in these doctors, in these hospitals, okay? Stop scheduling C-sections. Do not put organ donor on your driver's license, okay? That will make you a target. They put organ donor on my wife's driver's license, even though she did not sign up for that. They did it anyway, okay? But she had to take it back off. So check your ID, make sure it does not say organ donor, okay? Put it in the will or something. Put it in the safety deposit box so that when you pass away, someone can get that and they can present it to whoever they can present it to, and you can donate your organs. Do not put that on your license, all right? Much love to y'all, man. Y'all stay safe. Have a great weekend. Hug and kiss your family. You know, tell them you love them. And yeah, so thank you for riding with me on my way home from the farmer's market. I appreciate y'all, okay? Thank you. Love you.